again, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me on my mat. I hope that you are getting down and practicing breathing lots and taking some time out for yourself as well. So today's class, today's practice is kind of going to be a little bit fun and funky. It's kind of more of a strengthening practice. There's a little bit of a flow in there, a little bit of a mandala, but it's definitely going to be strong. So a reminder that whilst this might be a little bit more of a level 1.5, 2, probably not for beginners, that there's always options, there's always modifications and variations. So if it means that you skip a vinyasa, you skip a chaturanga, you're just holding down dog, or perhaps you come into a child's pose, know that you can always drop down onto your knees. You can do whatever comes up. Everything that I offer up is an option, so we'll go from there. So the theme for this kind of strengthening class is all about closing old chapters, moving into new ones. So it's about finding that inner power, that inner strength, that determination that you've got, that inner fire in your belly. So we'll definitely be working through the core and doing lots of twisting today. So tap into that, tap into your determination to hold, to be strong in postures, to find some intention and to find some purpose in every posture that you arrive into. So really give it some enjoy. We're going to start by coming onto our backs, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, so our bound angle pose. We're going to work with some breath work and then come into more of a supine, a seated warm-up before we move on to our strong holds. So coming down into that posture, if you'd like to take that block, take it to the head, you're welcome to. Otherwise, drop the feet nice and wide. Begin to lower yourself all the way through. The outer edges of the feet can begin to come together. Hands onto the belly if you'd like to, or just drop your hands all the way down. Begin to close off the eyes. Start to come into your breath. Start to notice where your breath is coming from. Focusing on the nose, the nostrils, or focusing on the rise and fall of the belly. If you have an intention or a devotion for your practice today, start to draw your thoughts to that being, that person, whatever you'd like. If you have any manifestations, anything in your wildest dreams, start to focus on that, something that you really wish for. I'm going to start to move into some breath work, but really trying to focus on a long, deep belly breath. So allowing your belly to rise and fall. As we do so, we're going to start to take a pause at the very top of the inhalation, as well as a pause at the bottom end of the exhalation. When you're ready, breathing all the way in through the nose, full breath, belly rises, and pausing right at the top of that breath. On the exhale, out of the nose or out of the mouth. And as you exhale and the air comes all the way up from the chest, the throat, take your pause again. Inhale through the nose, full breath. Feel the body full of air. Let the belly, the diaphragm lift and rise. And pause at the very top of your breath. On the exhale, draw the belly in. Let the rib cage and the chest lower, and hold your breath on the exhale. Know that you can move the legs if you need to at any point. Inhale, rise, full breath. Pause at the top of the breath. Stay relaxed, stay calm as you take that pause, and exhale. Allow the body to soften, to relax, and pause your breath at the very bottom of your breath. Inhale, full breath. To pause. and hold. Stay relaxed. Know you're in full control of your breath. Know that you don't need to take that exhalation. Exhale, release. As you release, start to surrender, release into the mat, and take a pause at the very bottom of your breath. And continue in your own time. Note your length, your own frequency of the breath, the depth of your breath. And obviously with practice in this style of breath work, you'll start to be able to hold for longer and longer each time. Diaphragm and the whole of the body is a muscle, so we're really working to lengthen our breath, to relax in all of these breath works, our pranayama. Just taking 2 more in your own time. Remember to take that pause at the very top of the breath, as well as the pause at the bottom of the breath. Know again that you can always release the legs if you need to. Taking your final round in your own time. Pausing between, staying totally relaxed, in control. Calming the mind. And when you're ready, releasing. Using the hands to place underneath the thighs, drawing the knees all the way in, planting the feet down, just taking that little tuck of the pelvis, hands onto the belly. Start to come into your nice natural breath. Just let the knees, the lower back settle, take a moment there. And then when you're ready, start to draw the knees into the chest. So we're going to work through a little bit of a warm up now, just starting to get a little bit more mobile through the body, through the joints, warming up the spine. So when you're ready, starting to take the toes nice and wide, the knees wide, coming into a variation of happy baby. Stretching through again. Taking the outside of the feet and extending into happy baby pose, just moving from side to side, releasing the lower back. And again, you can always take a little bit higher. You can also stretch one leg out and come into the inner thigh a little bit more, or you can keep the knees dropping back, getting into the groin and the glutes a little bit more from there. When you're ready, drawing the knees together, dropping the fingertips down to the mat. We're just going to take some knee drops either side, warming up through the back, inhaling. Exhale, start to drop the knees down to the side. Inhale, draw them back up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, lift them back through. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. Making sure the back stays nice and flat as you lift through, almost massaging out the sacrum. And lift. Last one either side, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to draw the knees back in, massage out the lower back from there. You're going to plant the feet down. As you lower the feet to the mat, begin to tuck tailbone under. On the inhale, you're going to start to plant down through the fingertips and rise, come up into a bridge. On the exhale, start to roll down. So you're going to work through your breath here. So a full breath, inhaling, tucking tailbone, squeezing your bum, squeezing the hamstrings, rising up, spreading the toes wide. Exhale, release down. On the inhale, lift. On the exhale, lower. So make sure those knees are hip distance apart. Make sure you're planting down through the feet. Lifting on the inhale. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Drawing the knees back into the chest. From there, lifting the knees all the way up. Flexing the feet. Dropping the right leg through, inhaling. Exhale, lift the leg back up. Lowering through the left. Lift back up. Inhale, right side. Lift. If you'd like to, from there you can begin to stretch the arms into cactus arms, doing exactly the same thing. Working through each leg. Inhale, lowering, keeping your lower back on the mat. If your lower back is starting to rise, you can always drop that single leg down and just work with one side and then switch to the other. Last time. From there, lift both legs all the way up, flex the feet, really work through the legs, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Start to draw the knees all the way in towards the chest, and then from there you're going to start to lift, rocking back and forth, perhaps taking the legs over the head into halasana if that's in your practice. Otherwise, keep massaging and lowering up and down the spine. As you do so, start to come all the way through into a cross-leg seated posture, sitting lovely and tall as you stay there. Start to sweep that left arm all the way over, and then switch all the way through to the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale. From there, drawing yourself round onto all fours. Just creating those circles again through the wrists, tucking tailbone under as you go. Knees are directly underneath the hips, spreading the fingertips lovely and wide, working round through the wrists. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Dropping yourself into a child's pose, fingertips stretching away. Coming up onto the fingertips, a full stretch into your back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. From there, just roll up through the spine, work through the wrists again, keeping the forearms together if you can. We're going to be taking quite a few chaturangas today. So working through the wrists, so at any point if you need to, you can just create space through the wrist joint. Any compression in there, just moving the hands away. Stretch through the wrists if you want to just take a few through the opposite directions. And then when you're ready, start to come into your first down face dog. So make sure in this down dog that you get your really good alignment to start with. Again, we're going to be moving in and out of down dog quite a lot. So start by coming into your cat stretch, taking the fingertips lovely and wide. That first finger is the one that points forwards. When you're ready, as you come into that cat, begin to curl the toes under, lifting the hips nice and high. Gaze is right between the thighs, lifting the hips up on the inhalation. And on the exhale, begin to draw yourself down. Now your perfect alignment for your down dog, if you wave yourself into your high plank, you should be waving yourself straight back into your down dog. So just start to take a few of those, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. If you'd like to, come into a child's pose or just pedal the feet. Do whatever you like to do to warm up. Perhaps there's a few more bend in the knees, lifting through the hips as you inhale and exhale. Perhaps you pedal. You're welcome to even kick a leg, reaching through the right side, ankle rotations round, dropping back through and perhaps even working through your left. Any cracks and pops is always good as we create space in the body. And then when you're ready, start to look through the space in your hands, stride that right foot through, and stride the left. Start to come into your forward fold, bending through the knees if you'd like to. And then begin to roll up through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Head, neck and shoulders last to rise. Drawing your thumbs to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Begin to tuck tailbone under. Come back to your intention, your purpose for the practice. We're going to take a few rounds of Sun Salutation A. And if you are a seasoned yogi, you might have taken this a few times before. So if you can, really work into your breath. On the inhale, rise, draw the arms all the way up overhead. On the exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, gazing. Exhale, draw. When you're ready, step, jump, float yourself back to your high plank. Taking knees, chest and chin down to the mat, Ashtanga. Inhale, rise, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl the toes, lift yourself up, back and down into your down dog, holding for 3 breaths. Again, you're welcome to find stillness or begin to pedal the feet and move. Know what feels good for your final breath. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, look between the space in the hands. Step, float, jump yourself to the very front edge of your mat again, coming forwards down into uttanasana, softening through the knees. Inhale, flat back, Ardha. Exhale, lower. On the inhale, take the arms all the way up and around into Tadasana. All the way through, back to mountain pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, flat back, gazing. Exhale, draw yourself down. Stepping or jumping, floating yourself back to your high plank. Taking your knees, chest, chin, or if you'd like to, your chaturanga. Inhale, rise, low cobra, or lifting up into king cobra. Exhale, lower. Curl the toes under on the inhale, lift. Exhale, back up and down, down dog. Again, holding for 3 breaths, perhaps moving around or finding your stillness. Gaze is right between those thighs. Start to roll the shoulders away from the ears, creating that space. And in our down dog, we're really trying to find length here. So length through the neck, the spine, length through the tailbone, all the way down the backs of the legs. Breathing in, last breath. Breathing out. Inhale, lift through the right leg if you'd like to this time. Exhale, step the right foot through. Fingertips reach forward as you step your left foot in to meet your right, coming forwards. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha, gazing. Exhale, draw yourself back down. On the inhale, rise, come all the way up. Uttanasana, exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. Back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Last time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Work with your breath. Inhale. Flat back. Exhale, lower. Step, jump yourself all the way back to your plank, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is up dog. Exhale is your down dog. Holding again for 3 breaths, moving, pedaling the feet. You're welcome to come onto the inner or the outer edges, move the hips, kick a leg if you'd like to. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. And this time reaching all the way up through that left leg. Exhale, step the left leg through. Move the fingertips forwards, reach the right foot in to meet your left. Forward fold. Inhale, gazing pose. Exhale, lower. On the inhale, rise, come all the way up. Look up to the heavens. Exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. Holding them at heart center. Breathing in. Breathing out. Tap right back into your breath. If you're taking Ujjayi breath, victorious breath, hear that sound at the back of your throat. On the inhale, draw the arms all the way up, moving on. On the exhale, lower, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise. On the exhale, step back with your right foot, long reach. Drop down onto that back knee. Uncurl the back toe. Inhale, lift, Anjaneyasana. On the exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. And as you do so, lift yourself up and out. Perhaps even shorten your stride. You're going to move that right elbow all the way across to that left knee and start to come into Anjali twist. Gaze is over that back shoulder. Try to keep your thumbs right at heart center. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, draw yourself all the way back. Open through, cactus the arms, strong back foot. Inhale. Exhale, if you'd like to curl the back toe under and press that back foot away, coming more into your high lunge. Inhale, you can always stay down on that back knee. Exhale, inhale. On the exhale, drop both hands down to the mat. Drop down onto the back knee, uncurl the toe, drop yourself down and back into your low Hanuman. Reach those fingertips away. On the inhale, lift, come all the way back forwards. Walk the fingertips through, stride that left foot back. Exhale, chaturanga. Knees, chest, chin if you'd like to. On the inhale, come to Urdhva. On the exhale is your Ardha Mukha. 2 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, rise, right leg lifts. On the exhale, step that right foot right between your fingertips. Drop down to the back knee, uncurl the toe, working through the other side. Inhale, lift, Anjana. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift yourself just a little bit up and out of the stretch, drawing hands all the way through to heart center. As you inhale and lift higher, start to draw the belly in. On the exhale, keep your thumbs at heart center and turn that elbow all the way to the outside. Thumbs stay through the heart. Gaze is right over that back shoulder. Keep drawing space away through the shoulder. Continue to press down through that back foot. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, draw yourself all the way back up. On the exhale, open, cactus the arms. If you'd like to, curl the back toe under and press that back foot away. Lifting yourself up and out, so really strong through the legs, through the feet. Tucking tailbone under, squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale. On the exhale, surrender both fingertips to either side of the front foot. Drop the back knee down, curl the toe, and work either just to that half Hanuman. You're welcome to use your blocks as well, or drop yourself all the way down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. On the inhale, start to move your body weight all the way back forwards. Hands either side of the front foot, curl the back toe under. Stride yourself back, this time straight through into your down face dog. 2 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Working back through that right side. On the inhale, lift the right leg. Trying to keep the foot flexed and the hip down rather than just opening all the way through. Breathing in. Breathing out, spreading those left toes wide. When you're ready, start to bend the knee, flex the foot, and then begin to open out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, straighten the leg. And when you're ready, start to draw that knee all the way through. Flexing the foot, rounding through the spine. Imagine the knee going all the way to the nose. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And on the exhale, plant that foot right between your fingertips. Give it a helping hand, draw that foot all the way through. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise, come all the way up into high lunge, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, start to draw your hands all the way through to heart center. Inhale, lift yourself up and out. And on the exhale, take that rotation back through to Anjali twist. Looking over that back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. This is where we're going to start to get a little bit funky, and we're going to start to draw as we look down at that front right foot. Our left foot is going to step in to meet our right. Coming into Anjali Utkatasana, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Left hand goes down to the outside of the right foot. Again, you can always use your block. And then when you're ready, open up through that right arm. The stomach is trying to wrap around as much as you can. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, squeezing knees and thighs together. Glance down back at that right foot and step. She says wobbling, that left foot all the way back. Drawing all the way up through that right arm, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you're ready, either dropping that back knee down or squeezing the thighs. Begin to rise and come all the way up into your revolved twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Start to drop that right hand to the back thigh. Lift into your revolved peaceful warrior. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, draw yourself back through. High lunge. On the exhale, drop that back heel down. Open into warrior two. Hands at shoulder height. Bending through that front knee. The right knee opens out. Lifting up through that back inner thigh. Breathing in. Left hand to back thigh, turning the right palm up, coming through into your peaceful warrior. Inhale, and on the exhale, start to drop that right hand all the way onto the knee, open into your side angle. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale, start to draw both hands all the way down to the mat. As you do so, come up onto that back toe. From there, you're going to start to walk that right foot to the outer edge. You're going to start to turn yourself back into that twist, dropping onto the outer edge of that foot and lowering into your twisted monkey. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Rolling yourself all the way through, dropping yourself into skandasana, a low side lunge. Again, you can stay up, taking the fingertips of the mat onto that foot, or if you can, you're dropping all the way onto the heel. Inhale. On the exhale, stretch the arm all the way out and travel all the way through to the other side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, start to move yourself all the way around, coming into your low runner's lunge. Inhale, lift all the way up into high lunge. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift. On the exhale, drop that back heel down, open into your warrior two. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Make sure you can see your big toe over your front knee. Back edge of the foot is in line with the short edge of your mat. Breathing in, tucking that tailbone. Breathing out. Dropping the right hand to the thigh, turning the palm over. Inhale, lift, peaceful warrior. On the exhale, drop the elbow and lift into your side angle. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, lift, come all the way up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, work yourself all the way back to the front edge, warrior two. Inhale. On the exhale, drop both hands either side of the front foot. Pick up the back foot into runner's lunge, lengthen through chest and heart. Exhale, drop yourself back into high plank. Chaturanga, or come straight through into your down dog. Inhale is up dog. Exhale is your down dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, lift through the left foot. Keeping the foot in line, flexing through the heel here, flexing through the foot. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. On the exhale, begin to bend the knee. Draw the heel over and gaze right underneath that left shoulder. Holding. Stay strong in that right arm. Stay strong in the shoulders. Breathing in. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, lifting all the way back through the leg. On On the exhale, start to draw that knee in towards your nose. Flexing the foot, drawing the belly in. Rounding through your spine. Inhale. On the exhale, drop the foot right between your hands. Gazes forwards. Runner's lunge. Inhale, lift all the way up into your high lunge. Pressing down through that back foot. Drawing the left knee out. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Start to draw your hands all the way through to Anjali Mudra. Create that space by first lifting up and out of the knee. And on the exhale, start to draw and twist your body through into that Anjali twist. Gaze is right over that back shoulder. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Start to move your gaze down at that left foot. And when you're ready, start to step that right foot in to meet your left. Coming back into Anjali twist. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, drop that right hand down. Left arm comes up into that twist. Inhale. Exhale. Gazing down at the left foot. Make sure you're solid in that left toe. And start to drop that right leg behind you. Coming back through into that twist. Gazing back up the left fingertips. Ground down through the feet. Lift through those legs. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, begin to rise. Come all the way through into your revolved twist. Pressing into the feet equally. Drawing the arms nice and wide. Dropping the left hand to the back thigh. Reaching up with the right. Coming into revolved peaceful warrior. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, start to spin the left arm all the way back through. High lunge. On the exhale, drop the back heel down, open into your warrior two. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, peaceful warrior. On the exhale, come into your side angle. Gaze is right up by those right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, glance down at the big toe. Drop both hands either side of the front foot. Come up onto the back foot. As you drop that right hand down, start to move that left foot out. Twisting and dropping onto the outer edge of that back foot. Working through that side body. Inhale, you can either keep both hands down or just pressing the hand through or release the hand behind you. Inhale. Exhale, without too much movement, you're going to drop down into skandasana. Hands at heart center, flexing through the foot or keeping yourself up onto the toe. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Begin to travel, stretching the arm all the way through, reaching all the way across to the opposite edge of your mat, coming into skandasana. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Start to spin yourself all the way to the front edge of your mat. Curling the back toe under. Inhale, rise. Come all the way up into your high lunge. On the exhale, drop the back heel down. Open into warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, back to warrior two. Squeezing the shoulder blades, bending through the front knee, tucking tailbone under. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Come all the way up, five-pointed star. Exhale, drop yourself back into warrior two, through to the left side. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, drop both hands at the side of the front foot. Stepping that foot back into your high plank. You're welcome to take child's pose, chaturanga, or just drop yourself straight back into your down dog. Inhale. Exhale, all the way back up and down. If you've taken that vinyasa, drop down onto the knees. If you're in child's pose, stay there. And then drop all the way down, forehead to the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. So use this child's pose to reset, to come back into your breath, to find that easier breathing frequency, to check in with the body to see how you're feeling, to see what's opening, perhaps where you're finding any resistance. And again, to come back to your purpose, the dedication for your practice, to find where that inner fire is today. If it's right in your belly center, or if you need to move a bit more. Start to feel what you need to in the practice. We're going to take another flow, adding on from that series. So when you're ready, stretching those fingertips out from your restorative child's pose, a more rested child's pose. On the inhale, rise, come all the way up. On the exhale, drop yourself all the way down and back. Down dog. Find some steadiness in this down dog. Inhale, exhale. On the inhale, rise, come all the way up. Three-legged dog. On the exhale, as you step that foot through, flex through the foot. Knee to nose. Holding. Exhale, drop that foot through. Runner's lunge. Create that space through the chest. If you have two blocks, use them either side. Inhale, lift, high lunge. You know what's coming up now. We've got that Angeli twist. You can always drop down to the back knee. Exhaling. Inhale, lift. Exhale, taking left elbow to right knee. Gaze is over the back shoulder. Moving your gaze to the very front edge of that foot. Stepping left foot in to meet your right. Coming into Utkatasana twist. Dropping left hand down. Right arm opens up. Move that belly round. Gaze down at the right foot again. Step that left foot back. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, rise, come all the way up into that revolved twist. Dropping right hand, reaching back. Revolved. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift all the way back through, high lunge. Exhale, dropping that back heel down, opening into warrior two. Inhale, reach, peaceful. Exhale, lower into your side angle. Breathing in. If you'd like to drop those fingertips down this time, you're welcome to. If you want to sweep the arm all the way through, again, you're welcome to come into your Atita version. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, drop both hands down. Moving yourself all the way around onto that back outer edge of the foot. Working that side out. Inhale. Exhale. All the way around to skandasana. Inhaling. Exhale. Moving yourself through into skandasana onto the opposite side. That low side lunge. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to add on from there, coming into our low lunge. We're going to drop our right hand all the way underneath heart center and step that left foot back to meet your right. Coming into your Vinyasa on the right arm. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. You can always drop down onto that right knee as well if you'd like to. Reach the arm all the way up overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Now be mindful of those wrists. We're going to come all the way around into our reverse tabletop. Breathing in. Breathing out. If you take reverse plank, you're welcome to. Lifting through the hips. Inner edges of the feet come together. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, lower down onto the feet. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, dive yourself forwards for a full Paschimottanasana. Keep the gaze at those toes, keep flexing through the feet. You can hold the feet or keep softness underneath the knees as you draw yourself down. Keep reaching forwards with chest and heart. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, lift all the way back up through the arms. Exhale, draw those hands, fingertips pointing forwards. Right underneath the hips, again, or in line with the hips. Lift back up, reverse plank. Inhale, exhale. Begin to walk those feet in, reverse tabletop. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, mindful of those wrists as you start to move yourself around, coming into Vinyasa on your left side. Breathing in. If you have any other variation, you're welcome. Breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, start to draw both hands all the way around, coming back into high plank. Knees, chest, chin, or take your chaturanga. Inhale, ears up dog. Exhale is your down dog. Now stay with that same side, lifting through the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that right foot right between your fingertips. Inhale, rise, come all the way up, high lunge. Exhale, we're going to take the twist again, dropping the right hand to the thigh, reaching back into our revolved peaceful warrior. Inhale, lift, high lunge. Exhale, drop that back heel down, open warrior two. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, lift all the way up. This time, exhale, drop down into goddess, or our variation of Angela goddess. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two, back to the front edge of your mat. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, work through that back right foot. Lift, come up, high lunge. Exhale, lower both hands to the side. Again, you can skip out that vinyasa. Take the vinyasa child's pose or take your down dog. If you're taking your vinyasa, perhaps double up if you want to strengthen. Halfway. And lift. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Urdhva. Exhale into your down face dog. Holding in your down face dog, again, find movement. Find a child's pose if you'd like to. Taking 2 breaths here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, rise. Join everybody into your down face dog. On the inhale, lift, left leg. Working through that left side. Exhale, set the left foot right between your fingertips. On the inhale, rise. Come up, high lunge. Exhale as you create that space to twist the body round, drawing hands through to heart center, dropping that right elbow across the left knee, gaze is over that back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Looking down at the left foot, step your right foot in to meet your left, coming into Uttanasana twist, dropping right hand down, left hand opens, breathing in, breathing out. Glancing back down at the left foot, stride that right leg back, and then when you're ready, press down through the feet, lifting back up into that revolved twist. Dropping the left hand down, reaching all the way up with the right arm, coming into revolved peaceful warrior. Inhale, lift, back into your high lunge. Exhale, drop that back heel down, open into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, begin to drop left knee to left elbow to left knee. Again, if you'd like to, you can drop onto the fingertips from there or onto the palm. Reach up with the right hand. If you have your extended version, trying to take the arm all the way around and past to open up through that shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hands to the mat. Begin to turn onto that foot, both sides of the feet, and open through to that side. Again, hand can stay on the leg, down onto the mat, or gaze is right over that back shoulder. Inhale, lift yourself back up, rock, rotating all the way through into skandasana on that side. Walking your fingertips through skandasana to the right foot. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. When you're ready, start to rotate yourself all the way through, dropping down into that low lunge. This time taking left hand underneath the heart, rotating yourself around into your side plank through the left arm. If you have any variations, if you'd like to lift the leg, perhaps coming into more of a tree, breathing in, breathing out. When you're ready, be mindful as you walk the feet round, coming into reverse tabletop, fingertips facing forwards, lifting through the feet. Inhale, watch the belly rise and fall. Exhale, coming into reverse plank, lifting through the hips again, shoulders rolling out. Lowering the feet, inhaling, lifting the arms all the way up. Exhale, dive yourself forwards. Paschimottanasana, gazing at the toes, leading with chest and heart and leading with the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On the inhale, rise, come all the way back up. From there, we're going to add on, we're going to sweep our hands all the way underneath, coming into Navasana boat pose. Hands can stay underneath the thighs if you'd like to, or you can turn the palms to face up, relaxing those shoulders, drawing belly button into the spine, and finding that little place on your sitting bones where you can just drop back. If you need any more, you're welcome to begin to lift the legs all the way up, or perhaps lift through the arms. Drawing belly in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. From there, if you'd like to, we're going to cross the legs, come into scales pose. So again, this is just an option. You can stay in Navasana. If you prefer, you can take butterfly, dropping yourself through. Otherwise, as you cross those legs, you're going to place your hands right by your hips and give yourself a little lift up. And lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Coming all the way back through Navasana boat pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, lower the legs. Plant the hands all the way through. Lift, reverse tabletop. Stretching through the legs if you'd like to. Or just dropping the right hand through. Be mindful of the wrists. Coming back into Vinyasa. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Adding on again from there. So if you've taken that little lift, or you can drop down to the knee, totally up to you. You're going to start to draw that left foot all the way round, plant it all the way out, and open into your side angle. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hand down, walk yourself all the way back, coming into Vinyasa, side plank on the left side. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, lifting through that top leg, perhaps taking hold of the foot, yoga toe lock, stretching through the leg if you'd like to, and then dropping that foot all the way to the outside, dropping that right hand down, opening through the left. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. On the exhale, release the hands to the side of that front foot. When you're ready, sliding that foot back to a high plank. Knees, chest, chin, or take your chaturanga. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Exhale, back and down, down dog. Finishing off this sequence. Inhale, lifting through the left leg. Exhale, stepping that foot through. Inhale, rise, come all the way up, high lunge. Dropping the left hand to the back thigh, coming into reverse peaceful warrior. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, back heel drops, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Keep bending through that front knee. Inhale, warrior two. Inhaling, lifting back all the way up. Exhale, bending through those knees. Hands stay at heart center. Right elbow to left knee, opening through to temple. Inhale, back through, heart center. Inhale, right side. Back to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, left arm comes through, high lunge. And on the exhale, drop both hands to the side. Again, opportunity for chaturanga to drop straight into your child's pose. Double up on those chaturangas, or just drop yourself into your down dog. Working with your breath, inhaling, Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Dropping onto the knees. Child's pose for another 2-3 breaths. Inhaling. Exhale. So again, another opportunity from there to just come back into your breath, to find again what's resisting in the body, perhaps where you're finding a bit of movement, perhaps check into your temperature if you're like me, you're really warm, work with what feels good right now. Notice if you've given enough out, if there's enough fire in the body and you're feeling good, whether you need to preserve some energy or whether you've got more to give. So we're going to take one final little flow and then finish in our seated postures. Coming back into your down dog, lifting all the way up and back. On the inhale, lift all the way up through the right leg, three-legged dog. On the exhale, draw knee to left elbow. Get it right up on there. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, this time dropping the outside of the foot to the very edge of the mat. Dropping onto the left side, opening up into your fallen star. If you'd like any extra, keep lifting yourself up and out of that right shoulder. You're welcome to take hold of the right foot, or you keep the foot down and open through. If you'd like to, you can lower onto your seat, lift back up. Exhale, drop the left hand down. Inhale, right leg lifts all the way back up. Exhale, open. Come into your wild thing. So this time, we start to step that right foot in. We stretch the left foot nice and long, and our gaze is right behind us. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, drop the hand all the way back through. Inhale, three-legged dog. If you would like to, chaturanga, three-legged. Inhale, lift. Utva. Exhale, Ardha Mukha. Breathing in. Breathing out. On the inhale, rise, left leg, exactly the same thing. On the exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step that left leg all the way through, dropping down to the outer edge of the foot. Drop onto that right side. Open up into your fallen star. Again, you can always drop down onto a knee. You can always lower the legs and lift back through. Inhale. Exhale. Releasing the right hand to the mat, lifting all the way back through that left leg. One breath. Exhale, bending through that knee, dropping the foot down, stretching that right leg long, walking that left foot in, lifting through the hips, wild thing. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, lower yourself to the mat, coming all the way back through. Three-legged dog. Exhale, draw yourself down. Three-legged chaturanga if that is in your practice. Inhale, Utva. Exhale is your Ardha Mukha. Coming back into down dog, taking the child's pose if you need to. Breathing in. Breathing out. Turning the palms to face up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise, come all the way back up and down, down dog. Inhale, lift, right leg. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift up. If you have Skandasana in your practice, you're welcome to take your Skandasana, lifting all the way through, dropping those elbows in, lifting up, dropping back down. From there, you're going to drop your right knee towards the right wrist, and then drop yourself back and down into your pigeon stretch. So if you have a blanket, anything from there, you're welcome to, or a block, you can drop that underneath the right hip. Again, all of this is just options. Start to come into your breath, nice and easy. Breathing in. And then when you're ready, start to surrender. Lower yourself all the way down. Work back into your breath. Inhaling. exhaling. Inhale, exhale. If you're prepping for your king pigeon, you're welcome to take hold of the back foot. If you have a strap, perhaps work that through as well. If you have mermaid, half mermaid in your practice, reach through to take hold, making sure both hips are down. You can always stay up in your pigeon. And then when you're ready, dropping yourself onto that right hip, turning that left foot round and lifting it straight up, holding onto the foot, straight into skandasana. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Again, you can use a strap, you can soften through the knee, do exactly the same thing. Try and draw chest and belly all the way through. And then when you're ready, as you soften through that left knee, placing the ankle on top. Or if you'd like to, drawing that foot all the way into the hip crease. From there, we're going to take a twist. So if it's that left leg that you've crossed, you're going to try and take hold of either the hip, the lower back, or reach all the way around for the toe. The right hand is going to go onto the knee and we're going to look all the way over that back shoulder. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Slowing ourselves down, breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back to center, lengthen through the right leg, drop the left heel down to the outside, coming into that twist, left hand comes up, looking over that right shoulder, flexing through that right foot, breathing in, breathing out, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now if you have Padma or Lotus in your locker, in your practice, you're welcome to come into locust pose. You're welcome also just to take a cross leg. We're going to take a quick scales pose. So if you've got your Lotus, pressing your hands right by your hips, we're going to inhale, lift all the way back up again. Holding, 2 more breaths. Exhale as you lower. As you lower, just uncross those legs, step yourself all the way back up and down into your down face dog. Working through the other side, breathing in, breathing out. So if you have Vinyasa in your practice, you're going to lift through the left leg, otherwise you can just step that left leg to the outside. Inhale, lift, left side. Exhale, start to draw those elbows in, dropping the inner thigh right onto the outer side. Elbows roll in, gaze is forwards. My elbows right into my rib cage. And when you're ready, dropping yourself back. Coming back up into 3-legged dog. And then lowering left knee to left wrist. Dropping into our pigeon pose. Ekapada. So from there, fingertips pressing through. Shoulders away. If you have that block, you can place the block underneath that left hip. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Start to lower yourself down to the mat. Taking 3 more breaths. Lifting back up if you'd like to take a bind or hold. Drawing the foot into the elbow crease. Pushing the foot away if that's in your practice, or just staying up nice and tall. And then slowly start to draw that foot all the way around. Lifting into skandasana variation. Just 3 breaths in each of these poses. To your hip crease, or again just into a cross leg is all good, and then taking a twist from there. So this time, right leg Right hand can come round to the lower back, taking hold of the toe if you're able to. Left hand pushes down onto the knee and gazes right over that back shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Notice your breath, your temperature, what you're feeling in the body right now. Notice what's been happening in the mind if you've had a conversation with yourself today, or if it's so complex that you can't remember anything like me. And when you're ready, start to release. Draw that left leg long, right foot can come over. Sit lovely and tall, move the flesh from your bottom. Inhale, lift through the right arm. Right hand to the outside of that right leg, gazes over the back shoulder. Work through those fingertips, keep lowering the shoulder down. Draw the belly in and take that twist all the way through your center of your belly, Manipura. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Now we're going to uncross. Rather than taking our scales pose, we're going to lift all the way back through into our Navasana. So sitting lovely and tall. You're welcome to lengthen through the legs. A lift, perhaps take hold of the underneath side. Chest coming up nice and high. From there we're going to roll all the way back. Shoulder stand, halasana if that's in your practice. So from there, dropping through the feet. Momentum to lift yourself all the way up. Hands to the lower back. Start to feed the hips through. And lift yourself up into shoulder stand. Walking your hands to your lower back. Gazes at the belly. And if you have halasana in your practice, you're going to start to take those legs all the way up and over the head. Flexing through the feet. And once you've got into your halasana, you might find that you can lift yourself higher onto your shoulders and then come back into your shoulder stand. Point the toes, flex the feet. Keep supporting your lower back. You can stay up here, you can pause me. Stay up here for as long as you like. Inhale, exhale, perhaps take split legs. Draw both knees to the outside, stretch through the legs. Only if your feet touch do you take those hands off the lower back. And then when you're ready, as you lower down, support the lower back. Come down vertebra by vertebra. Placing the hands all the way underneath the hips, the thumbs underneath the hips. Draw the shoulder blades together. Let the head drop back and push all the way through. So come into your variation of Matsyendra. If you prefer to lift the legs, if you prefer to take the head all the way back to the mat, coming onto the top, the crown of the head. Lifting through the legs. You can also come into that posture supported. If you prefer to stay there, you're welcome to, or begin to roll down through the back. Start to draw your knees in towards your chest. Massage out the lower back. And then slowly make your way into your Shavasana. And it's totally up to you what your Shavasana looks like today. Perhaps it's those legs just traditionally nice and wide, palms facing up, close down the eyes. As you close down the eyes, continue to stay in your body. Notice your breath. Are you able to lengthen it? Notice your body's temperature. Notice your heart beating. Notice if your mind wanders. And of course, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. If you would prefer to rise and take the breath work, In a seated posture, you're welcome to start to make your way, rolling onto your side, lifting yourself all the way up. Otherwise, stay in your shavasana. Perhaps bring your hands to your belly. Find yourself into that posture where you can just surrender. You can relax, release. So we're going to close our practice today with some breath work. So either coming to that seat or just staying in your shavasana. Close down the eyes or turn your gaze to face downwards. Turn the palms to face down and feel the texture, the warmth of the body. We're going to take a pause again, but this time we're going to count our in-breath, our pause, as well as our out-breath. Settling into your breath, pursing the lips together, we're going to take our breath just through our nose. Inhaling the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice how the body feels. Savor this moment of calm, of peace. Stay right in your body. If you're in your comfortable seat, your sukhasana, begin to turn the palms to face upwards. If you're still in your shavasana, start to bring life back into your physical body. Gently move the fingertips, move the toes. Move your joints, your wrists, your ankles, the neck. Draw your knees into your chest and show yourself compassion for coming onto your mat today. If you're in that seated posture, start to just gently roll the head from right to left. Again, bring some movement into the body. And And start to make your way all the way up into your comfortable seat, wherever you are. Bowing the chin in towards your chest. Again, closing down the eyes. Keeping the eyes closed. On the next inhale, begin to lengthen through your spine. The crown of the head lifts, the shoulders roll back. Feel the new length that you have in the body. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out of the mouth. Coming into Chi Mudra if you'd like to. Inhale. Exhale. Thumbs to Anjali Mudra, Namaste Mudra. At heart center. Keeping the eyes closed, the face soft, no tension in the brow. Sealing our class with one single sound of Om, all together in unison. Let it vibrate again. Let your neighbours hear it. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the nose and the mouth. Inhale to Om. Taking your thumbs to your third eye, coming back to your intention, purpose, devotion for your practice today, living your life to its fullest, embrace your life with passion, bowing to the divine in each and every one of you, saying thank you so much again for coming onto your mat. Please practice this one again. I know it's complicated for me, so thank you so much. Namaste.